That which was from the beginning, which we've heard, which we've seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled of the word of life. Word Out, a young people's church of the Men of Issachar Vision Incorporated, brings you God's word. Be blessed as you listen.
Serve, and you will embrace your future. You see, when you are called to service, especially in a spiritual house, and you are given an assignment, you are pushed in a department, you are given a role to play, it is your future being opened to you with style. The door to the future you have always emphasized is service. The door to this future you have always emphasized, you have always longed for, you have looked forward for, and you are looking forward to, is service. Service will open your future for you. If you don't serve, you won't step into your future. David was to be a king. He was born a king. But he didn't even know until he started serving. Listen, there are so many things about your future that will not be revealed to you until you serve. There are some things about your future that will not be communicated to you in texts. You know what I mean? It will not be communicated to you in text, but communicated to you by experience. They won't tell you categorically. God won't tell you something categorically. This is your future. This is no. But you will walk into it as you serve. So people who don't serve are denying themselves of the future plan for them. And when we talk of future, don't think of 10 years' time. The future is already here. The future is already here. So you embrace your future by service. So I was speaking about David. David was serving his father in the bush. And God sent a message for him to be anointed. And he was anointed. But he didn't even come to the scene of kingship until he came to serve Israelites. He came to serve his brothers. He brought food for his brothers at the battlefield. He started service. It was there he saw the opportunity of encountering Goliath. And then he served the whole Israel by killing Goliath. That was service. That's what brought him into relevance. You will not come into your space unless you serve. Because your space is meant for you to do something. Your space is not just to come and sit down and look. Your space is for you to do something. So it is your doing that assure people that you can actually do it. That's why when you go to get a job, you present your CV. Your CV is about what you have done before. To show that you have competence, you can do it. Is that not so, Oga? So what is your CV? Your service is your CV for more service. Your service is your CV for more service. So serve and you will embrace your future. So in the spiritual house, when you are given an assignment, some of the things you are given are actually elements of your future. Number one. They are elements of your future. Number two, some assignments you are given is to train your muscle. Train your muscle for the future. Everything you will do requires training. They are to train you. I said some things are elements, some things are to train you. Luke chapter 10. Luke chapter 10 verse 1. Jesus said, the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye unto the Lord of harvest, that he might send laborers unto the field. And the Bible said he called 72 of them unto himself, and he sent them out to go and preach the gospel. He sent the 72 out. He sent them out. He exposed them to service, because that is what they will do after he has left. Some assignment you are given is to expose you to what your future looks like. I'm emphasizing that. So they give you an assignment. And they ask you to head this committee. And you just do it with the mindset of, let me just do something. So that they won't say I didn't do it well. No. Do it because that is what is going to build your spiritual muscle for what's ahead of you. There is a future ahead of you. Out of all of us here, how come you are the one we are choosing to head the committee? Out of everybody here, how come you are the one being given that specific assignment? It's because God doesn't do some things by chance. The 72 were not the only people following Jesus. Are you aware of that? Please have your seat. The 72 were not the only one following Jesus. But he gave those 72 those specific assignments because that is what their future looked like. Those that have future do not look like that, he didn't give them that assignment. So when we come into a spiritual house like this, we are moved by the Spirit to give you assignments on two grounds. One, there are things that we know about your future. But it's not everything I will tell you black and white. Is somebody with me here? There are things I know about your future. As your pastor, there are things God has shown me about your future. But I'm not going to come and tell you black and white. Because if I do that, it might not help you. Arrogance might set in. Is somebody with me? Arrogance might set in. And you will not walk towards it. You see, when people know their future sometimes, they think it will happen automatically. The future doesn't happen automatically. What God promised you will not happen automatically. There are actions that you must take. But when people are so sure what's going to happen, they may not take action and expect God to cause it to happen by himself. It doesn't happen that way. You need to take steps. People are not serious with life when they know too much about their future. They just think all of you just keep doing everything you do. We that we get there, we know ourselves. We know ourselves. They are too relaxed. But meanwhile, you need diligence to arrive at where you are going. He says, "Set thou a man diligent in his work." Is that not it? Set thou a diligent. He shall do what? He shall stand before who? Before kings and not mere men. So even if God tells you that you shall stand before kings, you need diligence to get you there. But if you are so sure, if you see the vision 10 times in 1 week, you may relax and be sleeping and be rolling on your bed and be saying, "Don't worry, I will stand before kings." You will not stand before kings. So many people have left this world without a prophecy over their lives ever coming to pass. It didn't come to pass. Because they didn't take the step they need to take. So there are things God has shown your pastor, God has shown your leaders about your life, but they won't come out and tell you black and white. It's to help you. But one of the things they will do is push you into assignments that will qualify you for it. So you don't treat assignments, especially in the household of God, with levity. Don't be so casual with the assignments you are given. Take it with all seriousness. Be determined to do the best out of it. Why? Some of them are elements of your future. They are elements. So they ask you, on so day, you will take the charge, midweek service, or on Sunday, you will take a 15-minute stock pause and everything. And you just feel like, so I'm the one that knows that now, Abi. And you laugh about it. So you go, instead of you to do serious work and pray, you go on ChatGPT and present you are cheating yourself. And then you say, "Hey, the clap, I did well." You are cheating yourself. There are some of you that God is, you have your ministry has to do pulpits. But I won't come and tell you that. So that you will do like this tomorrow. Our pastor, Lord Larry. I don't want to hear that. So I won't tell you. Rather, I will give you assignment to build your confidence behind the pulpits. Gradually. And some of you come behind the pulpit, do everything you should do, and you go and you are smiling. You do not come back with that. It's your report card that will help you to know what to work on. And when we talk about report card, we are not talking about the AIDS, the beast, and disease. So, when you see your report card, do you remember you just get your report card? After they write all the AIDS, beast, whatever you get, add notes. 3. There is your class teacher's comment, there is the principal comment, then there is your parents' comment. Do you remember that? That is actually the real report card. Those 3 lines under it is actually what? The real report card. And that's what you should look forward to. You ask. You ask the people that gave you the assignment. Then you ask your friends. Alright? You were in church now yesterday. I didn't hear anything from you now. What do you think I can improve on? What did everything? That is how to get there. When you finish, you go back, you are doing like this. And friends are trying to talk to you, say, "No, you cannot do that, they didn't put you there. You are the one that can do it." That is one reason why pastor will not tell you what the pastor has seen about your life. Knowledge pops up. Have you seen that in your Bible before? Knowledge pops up. If you know too much about life ahead of you, you'll be popped up. So we try to caution it, but we will not deny you the opportunity of arriving at the future. We give you opportunity of service. Even though we put you in charge of a committee and you are not doing well, pastor is not removing you as if he's removing nail. Simply because he believes that that's your future. So I'd rather allow you to fall and rise. Fall and rise. Fall and rise. But because we can't allow the work to suffer, we will add more people to shock you, but we will remove you from the place. Numbers chapter 13. Moses came and God told him, choose you a representative from every tribe and send them to go and spy the land. So he chose 12 people. In verse 8, from the tribe of Ephraim, he chose Joshua. Then he was called Oshua. Alright? He chose Oshua. The Bible changed his name to Joshua. He chose him among them. And he sent them to go and spy the land. If Joshua had not taken it seriously, he would have had trouble when it was his time to lead them to land. Joshua's calling was to lead them to the land and divide the land. But he was asked to go and spy the land. So when that day they asked him to go and spy the land, instead of going to Canaan, he has gone like Jonah into another place. One of the things that helped him to succeed in his calling, divide the land, was because he didn't arrive there when everybody arrived there. He had been there before. The land was not new to him. He had been there before. So when the leadership came to him, before they got to the land, he had already marshaled out to divide the land because he knew what he saw. He had already marshaled out to enter the land. He knew what he saw. He had been there before. You won't maximize a future you will not be exposed to gradually. So lead this thing is because the future has elements of that. You are called to be a sisters coordinator. You are the one taking it with levity. But your future has something. All sisters here, stand. Are you a brother? You are a sister. Are you a sister? All of you here, who cannot call a meeting? You can call a meeting now if it's a call meeting. Is that not so? Hello? You can call a meeting. Send notice to everybody. We are having meetings. You can do open prayer. Abi? You can even do exhortation. Look for things that have to do with sisters in the Bible. And even if you want to, you can look for it on Google anyway. Look for it and do exhortation for the start meeting and everything. But if you are asked to lead in sisters fellowship or be the assistant leader fellowship, it's because there is something that has to do with your future about leading men, and you have to grow in it now. Did you hear me? It's not about I don't want to marry a pastor. You don't have to marry a pastor. Your husband can become a pastor later. And not even compulsory you are a pastor. You see, some people are not pastors, but they are leading women. If you enter their house, you see young ladies, 20, 25, living in their own house, 4-bedroom apartment. And they are not mommy pastor, but they are mommy. Have your seat. So when you are given an assignment, you should let you know that how if I'm not the only person that could have done it and I'm the one, there is something God is trying to do. So there are some of these things the pastor knows, but there are some things I don't even know about anything about it. But I just have a prompting. Let that person do it. It's just a prompting. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not God. It's God that is omniscience that can see everything and knows everything. Is somebody with me? But there are some of you that it's just like, let that person do that thing. It's just a prompting. I don't have the full details. But for that prompting to have come in that direction, it's because there is something about the future that has to do with it. You better take it serious. When you then don't take assignments you are given in your present serious, you are indirectly not taking your future serious. When you play with the assignments you are given, let's say I do so, pastor will not complain. You are doing your future in a way so people will not complain. There is more to your life than the present. Maximize the present. So if you are filled with excuses now, then gradually you are showing the world that your future, when your roles, your calling, you will do it with excuses. And that's why some things will not be handed over to you because God does not want excuses about them. From now, learn how to walk. You are the one calling your responsibility. Learn how to do that small responsibility without excuses. Learn how to do without excuses. Do things without seriousness. How do I embrace my future? By serving. I embrace my future by serving. What is your attitude to the assignment in your hand? Unknown to you is actually a bit, a portion of your whole life that has been given to you. God does not waste resources. So in a spiritual house, I'm more emphatic about a spiritual house like a church. Alright? So if God convinced your leader to give you a role, you should know that it's just a portion of your life that have been given to you. And Jesus was talking about the story. He said, he that is faithful in little, much more will be committed there. He said, if you are not faithful in another man's thing, even if you are determined and so sure that it's not a portion of my life. Is somebody with me? If you are so confident that this they ask you to come and do, to coordinate, or to be a director, has nothing to do with my future. The scripture still balances it. He said, if you are not faithful in another man's thing, who will commit your whole to your hand? The door to what God has for you is service. So when you come late to church, when you come late to workers' meeting, the day you are on program, you come early. The day you are not on program, you come late. You are telling God how you want to handle what He has in stock for you. Your punctuality should not be determined by whether you have a role to play or not. Punctuality should be a lifestyle. Tell somebody beside you, punctuality should be a lifestyle. You should be in church when you should be in church. You work towards it. You should be in church because you have to be in church. And you should be in church at the time you should be in church. Don't choose days to come to church. If you choose days to come to church, I won't go on Wednesday. I'll go on Sunday. God is already looking at it. So if this guy that multi-billion-dollar company, that's the day we will determine the kind of country, day you go to office, the day you not go to office. Is that not the way it should be? So you go on Monday to office, you not go on Tuesday and Wednesday, then you go on Thursday, then Friday is weekend, you travel. Some of you that travel anyhow always have a reason to travel. So God is looking at you. So if I give you a church to pastor, if I ask you to start a ministry, that's how you leave all your congregation and you'll be traveling. You are telling me that one is different. No, your attitude now shows it. You think I don't have reasons to travel? You have a mother, I have a mother too. My mom is alive. Is somebody hearing me? You went to do Christmas with your mom. I want to go and do Christmas with my mom. I want to go and do it with my brothers. Are you hearing me now? I want to go and do Christmas. Easter, I want to go and do Easter. I want to travel. Even if I have nowhere to go to, I will stay in my house and lock my door. So you are not the only one that have family member to go and check. But now is showing that, so if you have a church, see, these are the things you think before you make excuse of traveling. So if you are the pastor of the church, that's how they will announce on the pulpit. Our pastor has traveled to go and check his mom. So Sunday is the only time you can go. No, I want to follow mommy to church so they will see my face in our church. If the pastor of your mommy too is doing the same thing, will your mommy go to our church? But nobody's going to church. Everybody's going. But you take excuses. I have exam. I have to read. So we don't have exam too. We don't read. All this thing goes back to your time management. Should you not have travel? But travel with a sense that by Sunday I will still be in church. I do it at times. It's the mindset that I will still be in church at that time, no matter what it costs me. That's plan. There is a way you must make people you are going to see have direction that listen, you are no longer a child. Let me give you an instance. Maybe you don't know the peculiarity of the church you belong to. As you are growing up and everything, most of you don't wait for your parents. You leave them in church and you go home. Because your parents keep having meeting upon meeting. Yes and yes, Abby? They keep having meeting. You call them the elders of the church. I hope you know that you are the elders of this church. All this one you are rushing to run home. You are the elders of this church. Or who is the elder? Who are the elders of the church? Your parents were staying back in church because they keep doing committee upon committee. Is that not so? They do one committee meeting, after that committee meeting, another committee meeting, and you say, Daddy, how can you do 3 committee meetings in a day? Now, you are the committee now. You are the committee. That's your future. Embrace it. God is exposing you early. I've told you before, I'm pastoring pastors. So it's not about whether I want to be an agent. God has directed you here. It's because there is something about your future God has to put in your life. The way you look doesn't change what God has planned. It doesn't change it. What have I said to you today? Serve and embrace your future. Take the assignment seriously. I was asking earlier. I said in the last 2 weeks, last 1 month to the last 2 to 4 weeks, there have been change in leadership, there have been extra change and everything. So have you done a meeting, a new meeting to strategize? You've not done it. This is your future. So God gives you a position as regional director in a bank. Regional director in a bank. So you resume there, and for 1 month you have resumed. You do not call a meeting of everybody in that region. You do not call a meeting of the regional manager and call on them. If you come from your branch, come. Let's review what have you been before, and let's review. You just say, let's continue as usual. Is that the way you do it? This is how to train for your future. The house of God is the best training ground. You are trained for destiny. It's a balanced place to train you for destiny. Because they're not just training you arbitrarily. They are training you because there is a spiritual direction. So if I give you an assignment, because I have a little idea about your future. But for most times anyway, I don't even have an idea. It's just a prompt of the Holy Ghost. If Holy Ghost is prompting me to push you there. There are some of you that they wanted to change you from your units. In fact, the pastor in charge have removed your name. And I said, no, stay there. I don't have any other reason, but a strong prompting that let that person stay there. If that is it, it's because God has something he wants to do about your future from that place. Turn to 5 people around you and tell them, serve and embrace your future. You know, so many times you are busy disturbing your head, praying, God, what's your plan for me? What do you have for me? Show me, Lord, and everything. Some prayers are not necessary. If you are serving, God's plan for you is so clear, like 3D screen. If you are serving. Because, listen, you cannot be hidden. One without God will keep fishing you out. He will keep fishing you out in the direction. There is a way. Listen, people, they don't know how to do that. They keep to do their life. They just keep giving you assignments in there. If you like, don't join a unit there. They will go and draft you and make you a trade of that unit. Is somebody issue? When I went to service, I did that experiment. God told me, before I left campus, I was going to be a president. I said, God, let's see you. So when I was going to enter camp, I said, I will not join Bible study. I will not join prayer. I will not join evangelism. But when the noise was too much that you must be a worker by force, I went to join ushering. I didn't know that it was God that caused me to will and to do of his good pleasure. I didn't know. All of us didn't know that the president never even come to camp. For about 1 and a half, we didn't know the president. It was the secretary that we assumed was the president. He was not in camp. The first day came, now as usher now, I was standing behind. And my own is all those senior corporates that used to stay at the back, all of us go to sit in the front. I was doing my usher work. I knew that it was a setup. So I just thought there was somebody behind me. And I felt like that person is bigger, taller, bigger than me. So I was calculating, I know that it's not going to be, it's going to be those senior corporates. So I'm calculating, how am I going to tell that person that is bigger, huge now? So I was realizing the word. I will say this. If he doesn't agree, then I will. I was still calculating. Then after about 2 minutes, I turned. And I saw that giant. And I said, sir, you cannot stand there. You go and, he said, yes, I'll go and sit there. But can you give me 1 more minute? I said, okay. At the end of the service, the president we thought was president came out and said, today I'm happy. I told all of you I'm not the president. All of you didn't believe me. Our president is here. Papa is here now. Can we all welcome and everything? It happens to be this guy. I said, So it was the president I was instructing. I didn't know. But when he was going to suck later, he said that day as he was coming, he said God told him that when you get there, stay behind. So when he came, he stayed behind. He said he saw his spirit jump from inside of him and jump into me. That's how he had not my face. He knew I was the successor. So I thought I was running by going to join ushering. There, you see, God has a way of fishing you out. He has his own way. You see, if you like, you don't need to join a unit that looks like it. You are the one. God will look for you. When Saul was going to be anointed king, the Bible said he was hiding. They casted lots. Saul was the tallest in Israel at that time. He was the tallest. Handsome and the tallest. And they casted lots and it fell on him. And they were still looking for him. He was hiding. Even though he was hiding, how can the tall man hide? The tallest man, how can you hide? Listen, you cannot hide what God has in place for you. God will still fish you out. So take assignments you are given seriously. Is God fishing you out to show you something about your future? Even though you don't have an idea about it, but he's showing you. Joshua didn't have an idea that was going to happen to him, but he was sending him to the Canaan land already. Go and spy. Go and check. Moses did not go himself. He sent him. Go and check the land you are going to pioneer yourself. Go and check it out. When I give you assignments, academic fast track, go and check out something about your future. If you like, take it anyhow. It's your future. If you play with assignment, you are playing with your future. You hear me? If you play with your assignment, you are playing with what? You are playing with your future. Lord, thank you for this morning. We ask that you will help us to be diligent. You will help us to be faithful. That we might enter our future with ease. In Jesus' name we've prayed.
We hope you've been greatly blessed. That which we have seen and heard, declare we unto you, that you also may have fellowship with us. And truly our fellowship is with the Father and with His Son, Jesus Christ.
Contact and follow us on all our social media handles
at MIV Word House. Stay strong, vigorous, and victorious.